Just a moment and look at the papers. Where do we start from, guys?
Let's start from Bukola.
The Guardian.
There you go.
And it's an interesting picture on the front page of The Guardian this morning that everyone, particularly the traditional institutions, should watch out for and reflect on. Look at the headline, Thrones for Hire. How politics, corrupt process, taint traditional institution, royal stools. And you see there the throne, a short lineup of traditional rulers, and behind the throne you see cash in exchange. So we require some form of answers from our traditional rulers on whether or not this is the case, or this is a wrong reflection of what is really happening. So it's an interesting one. Perhaps a departure from what seems to be the talking point across the nation, which would be, rivers quaking as a result of declaration of a state of emergency. But the Guardian does not lose sight of that. Look at the bottom part, just right under the big story there. NASS faces backlash over state of emergency approval. Fubara denies culpability. And right beside that, you find 2027 Ganduje, a minister dismiss, that would be Atiku Obi El Rufai coalition on as failed gang up. So would that be the case? Is it a non-issue as far as 2027 is concerned? And 2027 also has been described as a huge factor that is coloring the Rivers political crisis as well. Okay. So interesting stories from the front page of the Guardian this morning.
Goes to the Nigerian Tribune. Rivers emergency rule after NASS approval. Ibas assumes duty, vows to restore law and order. He gave his broadcast yesterday, about 10 minutes long. You could go listen to some of the things he said, literally calling for collaboration, but was also firm in fighting anybody who wants to foment trouble. Says his mission requires collective support from all stakeholders. Without nay votes, reps, senators approve president's request. Asks administrator to report to NASS, not FEC. Senate wants eminent persons to resolve Wike Fubara dispute. Tinubu salutes National Assembly. South Governors Forum says declaration did not meet constitutional provisions. So this is where the state is at the moment as far as this is concerned. And we hope, I was listening to his broadcast yesterday when Abbas said, look, there's uneasy calm. He knows that the work on his hand is not going to be solved by might, but the presence of might will at least deter a few people from misbehaving, because that's what a state of emergency is. So as far as this is concerned, let's see how it plays out. But I believe that a political resolution will give permanent, even long-lasting peace. The court have done theirs. It did not solve the problem. Military might or state of emergency, I can guarantee you, will not solve it. Eventually, it's a political resolution from all warring factions.
Continually hopeful, as the Senate has also constituted a committee to reconcile the warring factions.
And they can, it may be less than 6 months. In the law, it says so, 305 says. And they've also put that as part of the amendment to the declaration of emergency. To approve the emergency declaration, that whenever there's a restoration of peace, the president can come back and just mute this as possible. What we disagree with is suspending democratic structure on that. Well, they've approved. There's nothing anybody can do. All you can do if you disagree is to talk, and that's what we're talking.
Or just go to court. That's you can seek redress in court, and we'll wait to see how that plays out. By the way, there's that picture, the aftermath of the explosion. They call it fire, explosion, accident in Abuja, and you can see that cylinder, the CNG cylinder. I know the presidential leader put up a picture saying that, well, it's not CNG, this didn't explode. But the question is, where are the other cylinders? Because the trucks carry more than one cylinder of CNG. Some have 6, some even have up to 8. And some said they saw the cylinder flying across their roof. So the president has called for investigation. Yeah, and we'll wait to find out how that comes up. But take a look at the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint is next, and Blueprint sort of focuses, at least the big story, is different from what you find around. It's about investment from India. You see, 15 or $14 billion investment from India. Others, Tinubu has made life easier for Nigeria. That's coming from the federal government. So there was that ministerial address yesterday, and different ministers spoke about, the performance of the government. The Minister of Interior talked about 200,000 backlogs of passport application cleared. Foreign Minister says country's image now redeemed abroad. The Minister of Information said administration encouraging free speech and healthy opposition. So those are the highlights from the ministerial briefing, and it's no surprise that that's how the blueprint leads this morning. So there you have it. The big stories on the front page. You can almost guess how this will shape the conversation today.